Welcome to how to use the InstantAtlas Designer with HTML templates. Today I'm going to take you through the steps to show you how easy it is to change the look and feel of your InstantAtlas dynamic report. This video follows on from the How to Use InstantAtlas Publisher with HTML templates, and this is the atlas that was created in that video. If you wish to change the look and feel of your Flash dynamic report, I suggest you view the video How to Use InstantAtlas Designer with Flash templates. You can see I've got my Louisiana parishes as my base geography, Louisiana regions as my contextual geography, and I've got my background mapping as well. I'm going to use the InstantAtlas Designer to change the look and feel now. Here you can see I have my config.xml file opened in the InstantAtlas Designer. This is a config file located in the Atlas folder that I published in the How to Use InstantAtlas Publisher with HTML Templates video. And from here you can see this is the back end of the atlas, which is loaded in wireframe view. I can click on one of the components, change the size of it, and move it, so I shall do this now with a few components to see how easy it is to change. In the designer, I can also modify some of the properties of the components. For instance, if I wish to add a title to my comparison table, then I can do this here. If I save and refresh my atlas, then you can see that these changes have taken effect. You can see how easy that was to make some changes to the InstantAtlas dynamic report using the designer. Now I'm going to change the map palette. Currently we've got the blue set for our legend. Now I would like to change this to a green palette. I can either pick one of the predefined palettes by changing the default palette here. I can also modify an existing palette or add my own new palette. I'm going to add my own new palette, so I shall click the Add button and scroll down to the bottom where my new palette is located and change the colours. I shall select a light green colour and then change this one to be a dark green and delete this third option. I then need to change this new palette 1 to be my default palette, and if I save and refresh my browser, I will be able to see the new legend colour scheme. I'm now going to change some of the stylings for my dynamic report. I wish to change the border colours of my various components from grey to green. To do this, I'm going to click on one of the components and then go to the Styles tab. Here you can see all of the classes that are associated with that component, and a description of what the class does. If I select IA panel and click on border color, I can change this to a green color like so. Save and refresh my browser. Here you can see that all of the component border colors have changed. I also wish to change the font size of the text in my buttons and also the border color. So I shall click on any button to see the classes for the buttons and change the font size to say 14 and then the border color to be a nice green shade. If you save and refresh the atlas, then you can see these updates. Now if you wish to do a global replace of the whole dynamic report for a specific style property, then this is possible through the InstantAtlas Style Editor. If I click this button here, this will open the InstantAtlas Style Editor. I can then use the global find and replace here to make some changes. I wish to change the font of the whole dynamic report, so I will scroll down to Font Family and click OK. You can now see I have two different fonts in my dynamic report and the components that they correspond to. I wish to change them to be the same font, so I click on the font and the new and then change the fonts for both of them. If I then refresh the Style Editor, save the designer, and then refresh my browser, you can see these changes taking effect. I can also choose to make individual changes to say just one element by selecting it in the list on the left here and changing the required property. I wish to change the text color of just my charts, so I will find IA chart in the list and change the colors like so. If I refresh the Style Editor, save the designer, and then refresh my browser, you will see the text colors for my charts take effect. An additional point to add is that you don't have to go via the designer to open the Style Editor. You can also open the Style Editor separately, either through a shortcut from your desktop start menu or directly from your InstantAtlas installation folder, and then open the file called Default CSS of your report. If you do this, you should have the designer closed to not get conflicting edits. There are many more things you can change using the InstantAtlas Designer and Style Editor, but this video gives you a quick overview of how to change a small number of things. If you want more information on how to change the data that is shown in this atlas, then please refer to the How to Use InstantAtlas Excel Data Manager video.